What is up? And welcome to another episode of I'm Will Bryant. As always, I'm your host. I'm Will Bryant. Is that repetitive? Probably. Am I going to stop? No. Am I asking myself questions for no reason? Yes. It's the way we're kicking things off, man. Truth be told, I know I'm coming at you guys week in and week out with another episode without stop, without pause, without delay. But the truth is, every single episode that you guys saw in the past, I don't know, six or 7 weeks or so, they were all filmed. They were all recorded back in late January and all throughout February. I'm talking about, Josh, Hava, Isaac, Liam, the boys from Global Gold Music. Man, even Martin and Rocco, that was all back January and February. So in 2 months, I recorded a bunch of episodes that essentially got us to this point right here. Why am I talking about this? Let me talk to you. Yeah, it's all because I basically haven't recorded an episode. I haven't recorded I'm Will Bryant. I'm your host, I'm Will Bryant. In about 2 months. See, I felt like I needed a little bit of a break. But I didn't want the show to take a break. I went kind of balls to the wall there in January and February, and I just booked a ton of guests. I literally took almost every single day off that I had from work and used it as an opportunity to record with a guest. I even had guests over on multiple occasions during the morning or early afternoon, and then still went to work in the evening. I went kind of hard there, and I didn't really feel like I was getting burnt out, but I got to a point where I felt a little bad inviting guests to be on the show, to spend an hour or two with me, and then having to tell them, thanks, but your episode won't be out for 2 months. I have a feeling that a lot of times when people do one of these, they're very eager to see how they come off and hear themselves, or sometimes even see themselves. I think I would be. So I said, take a little break. Let the episodes catch up a little bit. And then something started happening to me while I stopped recording all these episodes. I was getting the episodes out, they're already edited and ready to go. But I don't know, I felt like the longer I went without recording, the less I wanted to get back to recording. I don't know if maybe it's one of those situations where I guess no one ever really wants to go to school when they're younger, but it's a lot tougher to wake up for school after Christmas vacation, or especially after summer vacation, than it is having to wake up for school after a regular weekend, and definitely easier than, or harder than, having to wake up after school when you just went the day before. I think the long absence, what I'm trying to say, got me too used to just not recording, too used to falling out of the grind, too used to not hustling anymore. And I think that was a little dangerous. The night before, I had 2 nights before, I should say. 2 nights before I was scheduled to have this interview with Stephanie Cherng, my iPhone, which is what I use to record the visuals for I'm Will Bryant. I'm your host, I'm Will Bryant. My iPhone, I remember I was at the bar after work with my coworkers, and my something in my pocket was burning me, and it was my phone. It just started getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I watched it just shut off, like fade to black, Amy Winehouse. And that's the last time that son of a bitch ever was on again, because it never turned on after that. I guess thankfully we have an old iPhone at home. I think I had an iPhone like 13 or something like that. I'm not sure. The backup is an old iPhone 8. But that's what I've been using to get by for the last couple of days, until I can go to my provider to get a new phone. Why am I bringing this up? Because this freaking phone made it very difficult for me to even get back on this grind that I'm talking about, the one that I've kind of fallen off of lately. I had to create a bunch of space on an old, outdated phone and use a camera that is much lesser in quality than what I've been using for the entirety of this podcast. And had to make it work somehow. And it tried very hard to not make it work, to not let me make it work. See, while I was recording with Stephanie, on 2 different occasions, this son of a bitch right there that I'm pointing at, the very camera I'm using to record this intro right now, twice this camera decided to tell me, this iPhone decided to tell me, The good thing is I'm kind of very cognizant of things going wrong, my camera being one of them. So I noticed pretty quickly both times. The good thing is that we didn't really lose too much in terms of conversation and topic because of how quickly I was able to realize that the camera wasn't freaking recording. So it was more annoying than anything else. It didn't really ruin the interview, and that's good. The best part of all is that, as you guys will come to learn very soon, Steph is a very chill person, which is the way that I knew her when I met her. She was pretty chill right from the beginning, right from the start, and it's why we kind of vibed. I met her at one of these networking events that, if you guys have been following along, you know I went to a couple just to kind of meet and vibe with prospective guests. This one was a networking event for comedians specifically. And she was I think she was the first person that I ended up like talking to, and realized very quickly we had a lot in common, and I had to get her on the show. I just thought we would have a great conversation. Now, as life would have it, I think the first time that we were supposed to meet up was like the last big snowstorm that we had. So we rescheduled. And then after that, she got like a last minute booking on a show like any good comedian should do. She took it, and I was all for that too. And then I took a 2-month break. So this interview was like 2 months in the making, maybe even 2.5. I'm glad that it finally happened. Here's the little M. Night Shyamalan twist, though. I thought I invited her on the show that I was inviting this cool, quirky, unique, young comedian on the podcast, and we could just shoot the shit. I have started doing this thing where I actually prepare for a show and research my guests. And you'll see I researched the shit out of Steph, and I started realizing that she's only been about 1 year into the game of comedy, but she has a lot of history in film, mainly short film and writing and directing. And most of her history in film is dark as fuck, dude. I made time for myself, and I made sure to watch every single short video or film that she has produced in her lifetime. And we'll learn that the very first one of those was done at age 15. 15, she put out a short film, a short documentary, actually. And I swear to you, I'm not lying. That shit was good. It was powerful as fuck, and we'll get into that. She went on to do more short films that range from like 2 minutes to 10 to 12 minutes. Not one single lighthearted comedy in there. And I would have never guessed when I first met this chick. And you know what? When you guys meet her in a couple of seconds, you probably think the same. But then we're going to start getting into her different works and what went into that process. And you'll see like, whoa, there's a lot of darkness in that creative mind of hers. And you'll come to learn that as long as she is creating, she's happy with the way that she's utilizing this mind. It just so happens that in film, it's a little darker. And I guess in comedy, well, what good comedy doesn't come from a dark mind, right? It doesn't mean this is a sad and morose podcast episode. No, it's actually a pretty fun one, and we have plenty of laughs. We'll talk about all of her films. We'll talk about how she got into comedy, and we'll even talk about how she had a little bit of a role in front of the camera on such shows like Orange is the New Black and FBI on CBS. Pretty interesting chick. I'm glad that I can finally bring this episode to you. I'm glad that she was finally able to grace this Bushwick residence with her presence. Without further ado, the dark but freaking funny Stephanie Cherng. So I met you at the comedy networking event.
Yes.
And you were immediately someone that I realized, oh, she's just a chill person.
Thank you. You know what? That's really nice. Thank you.
Because I came from the other networking event where everyone was like really intense, and I don't know. I'm very type B. I've always said on the show I'm a type B personality. Have you heard of this?
I feel like it's like type A is more like someone who's intense.
Right.
Like a little bit like the piggy.
The piggy?
Like picky. Like where we like
You just called them all fat.
No! Oh my god! I mean, some of them are just kidding.
Oh my god, type A's out there. You just lost so many fans. They're like, yeah, no, picky. They plan ahead. They like itineraries and shit. And I don't really do any of that. Like
yeah, I'm kind of a go with the flow type of person, but I'm learning to be more like structured. I mean, when it comes to like my crafts, I'm definitely more like structured than type A. Yeah. But my personality is more like chill. You know what I mean?
I can.
You get what I mean?
I can get that. Yeah, I think I understand.
The work I could be more like a little bit more type A, but outside
work. So let's you do editing, like film editing for work? Or?
Yes. So I am a filmmaker by trade. I work in film and television by trade. And that's all I've been doing like all my life. So that's like my day job. Pursuing the film was like all my life.
I saw that your latest like not the latest, but one of your most recent Instagram posts was about a short film you're working on. Is this true?
Yes, I'm casting at the moment.
Let's get right into that.
Cool.
And then we'll work from there. Kingdom of Demons.
Yes.
All right.
Short film.
What is going on with Kingdom of Demons? A short film that what you're like completely in charge of?
Yes, I wrote the script. I'm directing it. I'm editing it. But also right now I'm like casting, so that's fun. I'm shooting on film. I literally bought rolls of film to shoot this.
Okay. Have you done that before?
No. So it's gonna be like the first time I'm finally shooting on film.
Why?
The first time.
Why the switch?
My DP, like my cinematographer, she kind of recommended it. She's like, I think your film will look good on film.
Okay.
Because it's a very like nostalgic, queer type of like look, very moody, longing.
Your description of it is a short, queer, Asian American film with a tragic love story and a dark twist.
Yes.
And I guess she thought film would work. I guess anything that has tragedy and dark twists in it, film makes sense.
Yeah, and also it looks better too. And also shooting on film like teaches you to be a better director.
Okay.
Because you have to like really get the shots right, the actors right.
Right.
You know, gotta be like on it.
It's harder to edit on film too, I'm guessing.
No, you process it. They give you like a little hard drive and you edit it. But like shooting, as in like, you know, how you shoot it is like different than digital. Whereas digital, you can have a lot of takes. You can go with the flow type of thing. But film, you have to be like this.
And you haven't done that yet.
Not yet. This is my first project where I get to do that.
Film.
Which is, you know.
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about that? I feel like a little nervous but excited. You know what I mean?
Do you get nervous for like a project you're about to start?
Always. No, do I get nervous? I get like excited but nervous too, because you want to do a good job. And as an artist, you kind of always have like a little like imposter syndrome. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%.
Like, am I doing good?
I've talked about imposter syndrome a lot on this show, actually.
Like, am I doing good? But you have to like kind of just like fight through and just like keep pushing. You know what I mean?
Do you? I feel like you get more nervous from stand up than I guess film.
No.
You just don't get nervous. You just have ice in your veins. You're Kobe Bryant, no doubt.
With stand up is like a newer like craft that I've been exploring, but it's still like a new thing. But it's taught me a lot about persevering and being consistent.
Okay.
That's what comedy's taught me.
Right.
So it translates well into like my other forms of craft too, you know.
Kingdom of Demons, casting. What is the casting process like when you're like at this level? Like it's not like you have a casting director, right? You're not.
No.
So how
I wish I did.
How many people do you have working on this film so far?
Just me. I have a producer. She's great. She's really organized.
What does a producer do for you?
They keep you on track, like logistics.
Yeah.
They help run shit,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because as a director, you're not the most.
How'd you choose her then? Her?
She's like been my friend, and she comes from a really like finance corporate background.
Okay.
Like she was a consultant. So she's like very like good at like planning stuff, but she's always wanted to be creative. So I kind of like took her in.
Is this her first foray into producing a film?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And I have my cinematographer. She's a professional cinematographer. Like she's been on like sets and stuff.
Nice. So you have an all female, I guess, crew so far.
Oh my god, yes! I didn't even realize that.
I'm helping you notice things for this.
Yes,
is it all Asian too?
Yeah, you can say that. My producer, she's like from She's from the stands. You can say
The Stands.
Kirk,
Oh, like
Kyrgyzstan, yeah.
okay. I thought you meant like she worked at the Stand. Like,
No, she's from like the.
She's a host at the Stand, but
she's
now
Central Asian, so yeah, you can say that.
Okay, yeah. We were just talking about how my girl calls herself Asian, even though she's from Siberia.
But she white.
She's so white. Yeah, I mean,
She's like waspy looking.
Before she says anything, yeah, kind of like she's got blonde hair, clear eyes, but the moment she speaks, they're like, oh, she's got the blood of Russia in her veins.
That's funny.
Yeah, but she claims Asia, so I guess there's a part of Siberia that Asia is like the line of Asia is taking.
I guess she got a little culture.
I love that there's a little like you're like that bitch doesn't count. It's not the same. She doesn't struggle like me.
She said she's like, oh, Genghis Khan got us too or something.
I guess maybe. I bet if she did that like 23andMe thing, she might
maybe
have some in there.
She got. And we're gonna have like little mixed kids.
So casting, do you get to? I'm just avoiding that one. No, we're not. She was like, "Why didn't you ever talk about? Why didn't you ever comment on the kids thing?" No, I have an interview to do. I have to move on with topics. What was I saying? Not kids.
Not kids.
Casting. Are you like? So then, will you have people like audition and you'll judge them and tell them that no thanks?
Well, I've casted before. I've had many films where I casted. So I just send the casting call. I post on Instagram, post on like Facebook groups, backstage. I don't know if
I was about to say there's like a Craigslist for this though, right? Yeah, backstage, right.
Backstage.
Okay.
I posted on Craigslist before, and then people just like send just submissions.
Craigslist doesn't. I feel like you would get the creepiest, weirdest ones off of Craigslist.
I've gotten some luck on Craigslist when I was like younger and making fills.
Okay.
I've gotten really lucky.
Yeah, I would never touch Craigslist.
Really?
For casting or something like that? I don't know.
I've gotten lucky. I don't know.
A lot of people have gotten lucky on Craigslist, but not in the way that you're mentioning.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God it's not that type of luck.
Someone was like, "Ooh, Asian director needs casting help." Nice.
Yeah.
Where's the couch?
Definitely no couch involved when I go casting.
Okay.
It's not type of, which is so. Oh wait, it's funny that you think that because when I go through submissions, it can, like all these actresses that submit to me, they're so brave.
Why?
Like, cause my cast looking for Asian actresses.
Yeah.
It can sound like a casting couch type thing.
Yeah.
I was like, imagine if I was like a creepy porn director, white dude with an Asian fetish, and I could be anyone.
Looking for queer Asian actress.
And some of them are beautiful,
starting.
and they could just send I'm going through the submissions. I'm just like, you are so lucky. Like, I'm not a creepy white old white dude.
Well, is your name out there at all? Like, do they know they're sending something to like
I
a
definitely,
woman?
yeah, I definitely
Right.
have like my face picture.
Yeah, because you
Stephanie Cherng, all
right,
that stuff.
because that has to kind of I guess make it a little bit easier for these women to then.
Yeah, thank
It's
God.
a little bit more trusting, right? I would definitely, God, if I was a little tiny Asian girl and I was replying to a casting call,
Yeah.
I would be terrified if it was just an old white guy on the other end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even with sometimes with comedy too, sometimes I'm like scared to go to some places. Too,
Oh,
I just never know.
Yeah, I've heard of weird auditions. Not even just auditions, but what do they call those? Like sessions where like you go for like advice or
for writing.
yeah, like a writing session together or whatever, and suddenly somebody's opening their hotel door in a robe and nothing else, like some Weinstein type shit, basically.
Oh, ew. Yeah, that's why I'm like always kind of careful. Even with the networking thing, that I like that. That was more like open. It seemed like legit.
Yeah, in a public place with a lot of people involved, right?
Thank God.
Yeah. So have you written the script already? It's something that's already.
Yeah, it's written. We're already like auditioning. Like later on, I'm gonna go audition some actors.
Today?
Yeah.
Nice.
After this, busy.
Do you have like a timetable? Do you have anything?
I'm shooting.
A desire to get it out by a certain time?
Well, the shoot dates are towards the end of May.
Oh, so you're already like planning on when to start shooting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something like you'd be like, well, whenever I find the right actors, then we'll start going.
No, I can't be doing that. I have to be like, this.
You're giving yourself a deadline.
Yes. You have to like really like, this is this. Mm-hmm. You can't just be like, huh.
That actually makes a lot of most of my greatest procrastinations are because I don't set a deadline. So that makes sense.
Yeah, you just have to set it. You just have to do it. You know what I mean? It's gotta.
You tend to kind of just. I mean, we're gonna get into your comedy lifestyle, but you kind of just did that too. I mean. Yeah,
there's a theme at play here.
Yeah, apparently it's just courageous chances that you just take.
You think I am? People be saying I'm fearless and brave.
All right, let's run that. Let's rein it in a little bit. So you're all right. Like, I mean, yeah, you're fearless and brave and amazing. No, but the story you told me about how you got into comedy, like, you know how many people are told like, oh, you should try comedy, and then they just never do it.
Well, this comedy thing, I mean, I was kind of like scared to do it at first.
Right.
Like, I kind of was like...
I think anybody would be.
Like, stage fright, like, I don't know. Like, the stage fright thing always, like, scared me. Mm-hmm. Like, I was never the type of person to, like, raise my hand in class.
Yeah, I saw you actually talking about that in one of your posts. How you were, like, this scared, timid girl, like... Right. Suddenly... So you were... So in class, in Midwood High School, you were like, a reserved, non-outgoing person?
Yeah, well, in the classes, I would never, like, really raise my hand. Mm-hmm. I was, like, never the type to, like, oh, my God, pick me. I was always in the back of the class. Mm-hmm. But during high school, I was always very, like, productive. Like,
Good student?
Yeah, I was a good student.
You take education seriously, right?
I took it seriously, yeah. And then I made films.
Right. At the age of 15.
Yes, like... How do you know the age?
You came out with Rouge Blood in 2012.
Is this you know Nardwar? You know Nardwar?
If I could be the Nardwar of like podcasting, you're Stephanie Cherng. I have to know about this.
So I'm glad you know about Nardwar because I used to be obsessed with, and he would know like every single like age too. Yeah. Oh my God! Like wow.
So the reason I know that is because you made the film at 15, and a little bit
16, yes.
A little bit after that, you got into the Tribeca Film Institute, right? Was that the same?
Yes. One? Oh my God! You're just some Nardwar shit.
I know. Rouge Blood was the first thing of yours that I watched. I think I told you it might have been before we started recording. I believe if you have a video out on the internet that you were involved in, I believe I've watched it.
Amazing. Okay, I'm glad.
And Rouge Blood, I tried to do it in chronological order as well, to try to get like a sense of your growth, not only as a person but as a filmmaker, essentially, to see how
an artist, just an artist in general.
I will say that after watching all of them, Rouge Blood is still probably the most powerful thing you might have, like, your first shot out, you nailed it. Like, it's a powerful little 10-minute watch.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember when I was like 16, like people would say that, and I did not know. I couldn't even comprehend at 16. Like, what are you guys talking about? I just made this documentary because I had to.
And that's crazy. Like, how did that documentary come about? 15, 16 years old. You're in high school.
Yes.
Was it a class that you were doing this for?
Yes, sort of. So I actually never wanted to be a filmmaker. I never want to get into the arts. It's just I always wanted to be in politics.
Wow.
So in high school, I was really involved with politics.
Yeah.
I was like working on like political campaigns.
Like for like school, like
no, I was like
types?
at one point like a mayoral.
Oh really? Like you
like,
got out there.
I was an unpaid intern.
Sure, yeah,
Because my dream was to be like in politics.
Wow.
And I got
because I did hear you talked about like law at one point. You thought that might have been something you were gonna go into.
Yeah, something like that. Something like politics, like whatever.
Right.
And then, what did I get into? I got into like a school club, and then I got into like social justice a lot. And then, I think one of my friends, she wanted to make like videos,
okay,
like social justice awareness, and she found this like filmmaking program. And she kind of just like dragged me.
Program like a software or program?
It's like this like filmmaking program that teaches like youth how to make films.
Got it. Yeah.
Outside
of your school. Oh,
outside.
Okay.
And I never wanted to like be a filmmaker. It was not something I ever wanted to do. This is like a whole theme coming on again.
I see this.
And then.
So nothing in your life that you currently do you ever wanted to do?
No, I hope
other
you know.
people made you do it.
Yes, other people made me do it. And then even in like the program, I wasn't like so interested. Mm-hmm. Like people would be like, I love movies, I love films. But I wasn't the movie goer. I always read books.
Okay.
And I made this documentary and I thought like, okay, I just have to do it because I have to finish something. So I made something. I was like, let me interview my dad. He's there, the Cambodian genocide. And I put it together. And then all my teachers, they were like, what the fuck, Stephanie?
Really? So like, we haven't even described what Rouge Blood is. Right. You describe it as a stirring portrait of a father's escape from Cambodia and how it shaped his life forever.
Yes.
If you had to give your own little, I suppose, synopsis of this short docu film in a way. It's only like 10, maybe 12 minutes long, but it was enthralling. I found it to be interesting, powerful.
Thank you.
I think it's obvious that you have like a lot of admiration for your father through this film.
I guess so. I guess
at least
like
for
his
what
stories, yeah.
Or was this just like, fuck, I got to record something. My dad has a good story.
Kind of like that. Well, yeah. I needed a topic. I was like, who do I go? And it was my dad and my dad's side.
Yeah.
And I was also interested in like politics and government.
That's true, because it is a little political. I mean, it's quite political. It's just more international politics than anything else. So your dad was born and raised for a little bit in Cambodia, right?
Yes, and then my family escaped.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. I never let you describe what Rouge Blood is in your own words.
Yeah, it's a short documentary about my family's escape from the Cambodian genocide. It was a genocide happening in the 70s, and how they ended up in America.
Right.
But the genocide is it's a traumatic thing for the Cambodian American community. It's like, it's trauma. It's traumatizing. It's still kind of like when you go back to Cambodia, you kind of see like the aftermath. It's not
the way it was anymore when your dad was there in the 70s. Like,
yeah,
it's improved.
It's getting better, but you definitely see like the aftermath of the genocide and war, poverty, and America bombing Cambodia.
From your 10 minutes, I learned more about Cambodia than I probably have in my entire life.
I love that.
Well, yes. It also talks about my ignorance to the entire history of that place too. But I knew very little about Pol Pot. Your dad said something about how I think he killed millions of people in just like a handful of years there, and that's your dad escaping that. I think, was it 11 when he escaped?
I think so. I think he was around that age, and he came to the States when he was like a teenager.
He came in 1985.
He knows Nardwuar shit.
He met his wife 10 years later, and then you were born 2 years after that.
Boom, boom. Kapow, kaboosh, kaboosh.
Which I actually thought was a very touching way for you to end the film.
Yes.
I really like that. Really got me in my feels where it's just like it's like 9 minutes of just brutal story of someone a fraction of our age escaping things that we could probably never endure ourselves. And then the last minute, it's like he got here, he met his girl, and then had his girl. And it's your little cute little picture of yourself at like 3 years old.
The little ending, the little next generation of hooligans.
Yeah, then directed by. So you're the first generation then of here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would say all of my family generations have been through war, trauma, poverty, and like my generation's like the only ones in my family that has not been through any war,
right?
Poverty.
Spoiled.
Yeah, you can say that
for sure, right?
And then my great grandma's still alive. My great grandma, she's like 108.
Wow, you Asians do live forever. I've heard about this.
We don't die.
Yeah.
We don't die. And she's in like the jungles of Cambodia smoking. She still smokes.
Smokes what?
Tobacco.
Oh, I don't know what Cambodians smoke.
She smokes tobacco and she's still like mean as shit. Like she's mean, you know?
So your great grandmother, when's the last time you saw her?
2019. I have photos of her.
You go back pretty often, huh? Like
no, I only went one time.
To Cambodia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's it. But she's still alive. She's old.
Mm-hmm.
She's like 108, so she's been through she's seen everything.
Cambodia. So if you've only been there one time, was that perhaps for the funeral of your grandfather?
No, that was for. Oh my god, you read that article too? That's some Nardwuar shit.
I read. You also have 2 short stories available, so I read both of those.
No, that was my mother's side.
Okay.
Oh my god, you're going through every part of my artistry.
I mean, Death Skull Moth, I thought was a really awesome read. Yeah, I'm definitely going to ask you about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was just curious. So that wasn't Cambodia? That was
in Malaysia.
Malaysia. See how racist to be. I'm confusing all these. Siberia, Malaysia, Cambodia, they're all Asian places, right? Like, whatever.
True.
It's funny. True. I had another shirt on. And it's like a Captain America shirt, but it's Captain America is written in Japanese, and like I didn't want people to think that like I just put on any Asian shirt for my Asian guest. They're like he didn't even choose the right Asian, so I just went with like Mexican tequila instead.
So you know what, the Mexican tequila works. Everybody loves Mexican.
Everybody loves Mexican tequila at least. Yeah, exactly. Rouge Blood, is that what got you the fellowship with the Tribeca Film Institute?
Yes, this film has taken me some places.
It opened a lot of doors.
And I don't really realize it because when you're in it, you just think like, okay, just another thing, you know.
How would you describe the Tribeca Film Institute?
So, my time. So I was like 17 when I got into the Tribeca Film Institute, and it was like a class. Mm-hmm. And you had to you pitch your film idea. They choose you, and with them, you get to make the short film.
Who's them?
The institute, Tribeca Film Institute. They have a whole.
So it's like a bunch of people, like teachers or people already within the profession. It's like a mentorship.
It's like a mentorship program, and it was.
So here's the crazy thing: when you got in, you were one of 20 fellows that were accepted.
Oh my god! Yes, you know the numbers too. Oh my god. I feel like this whole episode's gonna be me like
you're
surprised.
Just freaking out. Yeah.
Whoa.
Guest impressed with interviewer throughout
the
entire
it's like a little giphy moment.
It's good. It means I did research, you know.
No, this is amazing. This is like because I've done a lot of stalking for people in the film world, research and stuff.
So how does it feel now that you're the one being stalked?
It feels very different. Because I feel like all my life I've been behind the scenes. Yeah. So being in front is I'm learning.
That's true. Is that your thing? Do you feel better behind the lens than in front of it?
I think at the core of what I do is creating. Mm-hmm. I love creating and creating with comedy. I get to write jokes and creating a craft. That's what I like the most about it. Maybe being in the front sometimes a little bit you know what I mean?
So do you feel like you get to create more when you're like the writer director?
Yeah.
Is it like acting you're just interpreting somebody else's?
Or acting is like you don't really have like you can't really create when you act. You know?
Right.
You have to wait for someone to give you permission to make a craft.
It's a lot of waiting in acting, right?
Yeah, I don't really fuck with that energy. So
you have some acting work done. I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Were you actually in Orange Is the New Black?
Yes, I was an extra. Oh my god,
awesome.
you are going back. This is when I was in college.
That's awesome.
Never, like I said, I never dreamt of like being an actress. When I was in college, I needed money on my films.
Okay.
So what I would do, I would be like a background actor.
Wow.
Just to learn how to like behind the scenes type of thing. You know, I've always been kind of hustling with this whole like filmmaking dream.
That's a dope way to make side money. Or
you
like
think so?
You want to do film as a thing, but you need to fund it. So like you didn't just get a job like at a telemarketer. You were like, let me get a side job in film somehow. Like I do think that's pretty baller of you. Actually.
Oh, thank you. You know what? Because you know when you're like a poor POC person, you have to like find out somehow to do my art.
Yeah.
I don't have a rich parent to like fund everything. So,
I've learned from Rouge Blood in 2012.
The word. I really hustled. I would be a background actor. It was great, but it would be like long hours. But the money was like I was like.
How long did it take you to film your part in Orange Is the New Black?
Okay, so that was like the coolest thing I've done.
It sounds awesome.
Like,
yeah.
So the casting. The casting call was funny. This
also, most like I'm gonna get canceled for describing your role, because as you wrote it down, you wrote nail salon slave in Orange Is the New Black.
Yeah,
that's her words, not mine. Okay. So.
Yes, I played a nail salon slave in Orange and New Black, and you fucking can see my face.
I saw the picture of you. You're like, you have like one really good shot of you. I'm like, yo, is she a star of this episode? Like, what's going on?
Would you call myself a star? I wasn't extra technically.
Yeah.
I was touching people's
Can you describe this scene? What was it like? Maybe if you remember what season.
I do remember because I remember talking to like the lead actor,
Piper, the blonde chick.
Piper. But the Latina woman.
Piper, but the Latino one?
That's
not Piper.
No, she's like what's her name? No,
wait,
she's actually...
The one that...
she's the mom. She plays the mom.
The Spanish mom?
Yes.
Is it the one... Have you seen The Bear by any chance?
Yes.
Is it the same chick that's in The Bear also?
Oh my God, I watched The Bear, but is it her? I don't know.
The one that calls the head chef Jeff.
I think it might... No, it's not her.
So the mom... Wait, yeah. The mom of the girl that gets pregnant by the...
Yes.
That's the same... That's
the same woman?
Chick. She's in The Bear and Orange Is the New Black. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I guess to Asian people, Spanish women all look the same. So like, I can't tell any of you nail salon slaves apart either. So, you know... No, I'm pretty sure that's her.
Are you sure? Okay.
I don't have the power of the internet. I could look it up, but
literally look it up because I don't want us to get like canceled for getting the wrong.
Us know you. You're the one that can't figure it out right now.
No, so. It's no, because I remember I like. Okay, so here's the scene while
I do research to save our careers.
The scene goes. She gets out of prison and she's looking for a job, and she comes in to look for a job for like a nail salon.
The Spanish mom.
Yeah, to do nails, and then.
Salinas Levia?
Yes.
She's also in George Lopez's new sitcom now. Just so you guys know.
And then she comes in a nail salon.
And she was in The Bear, too. She is in The Bear. She has a great role in The Bear.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
But she was so nice. I remember.
Imagine I'm wrong and I'm just fucking...
She was so nice to me. Like, she was... I don't know what the hell I was doing, but she comes into the scene and she was like, should I get a job in a nail salon? People was like, no. And then she goes like... something about I can do nails better than all you like sashimi bitches. Right. She says that, and then she's like talking about like you guys have like you guys are holding people like captive or something. Like she talks about like you guys are like having like slavery here or something.
And
like
you're
that.
like one of the nail technicians.
Or I'm like a nail salon slave.
Why is it slave? Why do you say? Oh, because she's saying you guys are being held captive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I think the episode was about like slavery or something. It was a take on like slavery.
I guess. I'm not gonna lie. I watched like the first 3 or 4 seasons of Orange is the New Black. I didn't see. Oh wow, maybe I'm the racist one. I'm seeing that she might have not ever been.
That's what I'm saying. You got the wrong. Listen, viewers, you're a person here. So all my.
Hold up.
So all my.
So one of my nightmares. It stopped recording like in the middle of a story, but I noticed pretty quickly on it. Freddy, is that? I was gonna say Freddy Got Fingered. Five Nights at Freddy T-shirt.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie?
No, I bought this for $5.
Okay, cool. Never mind then. We were talking about your experience on Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
And you said it was essentially an awesome experience.
It was. Like I said, they're for money. Like I never wanted to be an actress at all, and it's so interesting being a background actor because all these people like I want to be in acting, and I'm here like I'm trying to fund my short film about refugees. Like it'll be like some shit, like some serious shit. Like I'm here trying to fund my films. Like oh wow.
It's a little bit of a different angle. I think did people look at you differently? I guess when you were saying that.
No, they're like, oh wow, okay.
Good for you.
I love being a background acting was fun. They fed you. You could be on set.
I've heard about craft services.
And then you have to wait. The bad part was waking up early. Sometimes you stay like really late though. That's the bad part.
It was long hours.
Yeah, but Orange is the New Black is like the best one because I literally just did what I had to do and I could just leave. Like, it was the best thing ever.
What do you mean you could just leave?
They shot my scene and they left.
Okay.
And I was done. They're like, okay, you're wrapped. I was like, yes.
Oh, that's good. There wasn't like too much sitting around and shit like that. All right. That's at least pretty good.
But the scene was great. I mean, I've never like acted, so that was like my first time like on screen acting. So I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
You're from the looks of the picture, like you had like someone's foot in your hand.
Yeah, I had to like fucking like paint this white girl's.
Were you actually like painting someone's like toenails?
It was like kind of, but I was like kind of like faking it. And then it was called, like the actress
from The Bear.
She's not from The Bear. They come at you. I remember like they were like shooting a scene, and then the scene she goes like, I can run circles around these sashimi bitches, and I was just like, you should say sushi is funnier.
You
like,
said that to her?
I said that to her.
Wow.
I was like, ah! And she was like
giving her notes.
Yeah, I was like, you should say sushi bitches is funnier. And then she actually took my advice and tried it when she was acting.
Wow.
Because the script says sashimi bitches.
Yeah.
But like, that's not funny. Not everybody knows.
Bitches.
Not everybody knows what sashimi bitches is. I was like, try sushi bitches.
How did it? When she went, I guess, off script a little bit, and it was all your fault. Was that received differently?
No, she still kind of did it. That was like really nice of her. And then. But then, like, the director was like, okay, go back to saying sashimi bitches.
The director's like, nah, I like it better the other way.
Because even she was like, I think she's like, doesn't sushi bitches sound better? I was like, yeah, do sushi bitches, do it. I was like encouraging her to like switch up. So I don't know. That was my part in Orange is the New Black, telling.
The ball's on you. You are courageous. You're this extra, and you're telling. You have no lines in this. First time acting ever. And you're like, excuse me, senorita, I have advice for you. Who are you? Don't worry about that. It's my first time ever, but I'm a natural.
Big balls.
You should change the script because whoever wrote this doesn't know what the fuck they're saying.
Because sashimi bitches is not funny. Sushi bitches is funnier.
Obviously written by a white chick.
A white chick who doesn't know what fucking funny is because sushi. Somebody needs to hire me to write the script because sushi bitches is so much funnier.
So and all right. So you were an extra on Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
Was your extra work on this FBI show? Is it the FBI on CBS?
Yes.
Okay.
I played a dead person. And I was so excited to play a dead person.
Okay.
On a show as an extra.
That's like, what you answered. Like it's a dead. Does it say? Did it specifically say dead
like
Asian
murder, like
girl?
victims? Yeah.
It said dead Asian girl.
Something about like looking for murder victims for like a media. Oh, working in media companies.
That I remember that you were. It said something like the media company was supposed to be like inspired by Vice. Or
yeah, it was.
Like that.
And there's a scene where like my pictures and like they're like, so here are our victims. The picture and you see my face. Here are the victims. Like those that FBI scene. I don't know.
So you just played dead. So that means you were on network television. That's CBS. That's
I mean, it's
a
not
big
like
deal.
It's an extra.
You're not like your name doesn't appear at the end or anything like that. Or?
I don't think so. I'm not like my IMDb page is like my film work.
Yeah.
My acting work.
Yeah, that's how I found some of your stuff.
But that's cool. Yeah, no, I can't believe sometimes I forget. My friend, she's like, I can't believe I have to remind you about the things you do sometimes because you're not remembering sometimes. I'm like, because I just next.
When were these like near each other, the Orange Is the New Black and the FBI roles?
Maybe, yeah. During like college when I was like younger, when I was kind of unemployed looking for money, I would like go do like extra work.
So you don't do any acting in like extras as an extra anymore now?
No.
You don't want to? No desire?
No, I don't have to because now I have a day job. Now I have like
because you were specifically just doing it for money. The fact that you're getting your money from another place means you're fine. Like your acting bug is quenched.
I never really had an acting bug. I never had dreams to be like on the screen.
But you did have dreams to be behind the lens. Like you had dreams of like directing.
Yes, directing and writing.
That's
still my dream.
And right now you do more editing than anything else, right? Is that correct?
The editing pays the bills.
Right.
It's a skill.
What program do you edit, if you don't mind me asking?
Adobe Premiere.
Okay.
So what happened during Rouge Blood? My teachers were just like, "Dude, you're like a great editor. Like this is great. This is incredible." Like my teacher was like, he has this great story about me. He's also like I've worked under him before too at other companies as an editor. He's like, I have this great story about you. Like, remember during RealWorks, like we just like we're wondering like what's going on with Stephanie. We haven't checked up on her. Like
RealWorks is another like Brooklyn nonprofit.
Yeah,
with, right?
That's what I was with. That's when I made like Rouge Blood. So he was just like, we were like, nobody like checked up on you. We had no one mentor. Like we were like kind of concerned, like what's going on with her, what's happening. And I don't know, you just like had this like finished product of this like film. We're like, oh, okay, she's doing fine.
was RealWorks that program you said that your friend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the program.
Got it. Because I did see that like that's where I saw your video first, and you then had like a short 2-minute interview with I guess someone else from RealWorks or something.
Yes. Oh. Yes, they did interview me a couple of times. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. It looked pretty, I don't know, pretty official, if you ask me.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, cool stuff.
Was your next big project The Naked Sister?
Yes, that was my second one.
Okay, and that's what made it into the Tribeca Film Festival?
That's what like I created during the Tribeca Film Institute, and then I got to screen.
Nice. Is that like, do all the fellows get to then screen their work at the film festival?
Yeah, you have to finish it. That's
awesome.
If you finish it, though.
Oh, are there fellows that don't finish their?
There are fellows that don't finish it.
Wow.
But I had to like. I'm very like I said, I'm not really type A in like my outside life, but when it comes to like my crafts, I can be very like type A. Like it has to get done.
So what would be reasons that other people wouldn't finish their projects?
Lots of things. Making a film is hard, you know. It's either sometimes you get like you're not done in time. Especially if you make a documentary, you have to like shoot things and like.
Would it be more people just not being able to finish in time as opposed to people? Because I thought maybe they were just outright quitting. Are they giving up on it?
Some I think some of them have. Some of them just didn't like make it in general.
It's nuts to me that like it's such a hard program to get into. Like I said, only 20 of you guys get in, and then even after that, some other people are like, nah.
Yeah, no, I've had like some people done very well coming out from the program. Better than me, way better than me.
Really?
Yeah. Like this one girl I know, she's on a Netflix show. I don't think I should say her name, but she's, you know,
like acting on it.
Yeah, she's like acting on it. She's famous.
So is the fellowship for not just like directors? It's like for actors too, or is
well, It's a filmmaking thing, but people that come out from the program, they've done like other stuff. Because
they branch out into other things.
I was in this thing like 2015. The year 2015.
Well, I believe Naked Sister came out 2015.
Yeah, around that time. It was a long time ago, and I'm like in my 20s now. So
I like how you like censored yourself from your real age.
Yeah.
You're about to tell people how old you are, and then you're like, 20s.
In my 20s.
Then I saw you had, I don't know, I guess a couple of years in a row where you start churning some works out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't think you have like a single like lighthearted film or work out there. Like it's heavy.
They're
stuff.
dark.
Yeah.
Which is funny because my personality
It's not. That's why I was like, so when I first when I invited you on, I was like, oh, I'm going to have this like quirky Asian Brooklyn comedian on. And then I started doing research on you and I'm like, oh my God, I'm having like the darkest, most tormented soul on my podcast. And then I start watching all the videos. I'm like, oh my, I am in a bad mood right now. Like I need to watch like a cartoon to feel better or something.
Hey, what did they say about the funniest people or what?
Are the darkest souls, like, you know, and I also told myself, I was like, I want to get through her like film career to not end on such a dark note. Because like you are an intense, like I feel like when people are going to see this and see you and then see some of the subject matter of your films that
They're
it's
intense.
Yeah. I mean, so we've already covered Rouge Blood. And I mean, there's like two other short films that make me feel very similar to that: A Boat Journey and The Boatman.
Yeah, it touches on a lot of genocide. Yeah,
a lot of genocide, a lot of escaping rough childhoods, a lot of escaping regimes.
Yes, that was what I was into.
Yeah, I see this. But then I thought that Naked Sister and Sacred Ones, they have similar. Similar themes, but different from what we were covering in all the like. It's not a story of cultural escape, and it's more stories about
intimacy.
Yeah, and specifically female issues within like the female.
Yes.
How females have to deal with I guess bullshit and intimacy and despair.
Yes.
And you continue that in Queens of Coney Island in 2018.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I did that.
And
I almost forgot about that one.
Well, I'm here to remind you. You did that too. Sacred Ones is a short one.
That's really short. That was like a spur of like creativity I made. Like,
yeah.
It was like a poem, and then.
How did you know Kimia before this? Was she a friend of yours? Did you cast her?
No, I casted her. I found her.
And so she was just someone you never met before.
I never met, and then. That's what I'm saying. Like, these actors are so brave.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, I could be anybody.
Right. Yeah.
I could be a creep.
Did you film that all in one day?
Yeah, I think I shot that in a day or 2 days.
Essentially, Sacred Ones is like a verbalization of. Did you write? I'm guessing you wrote. Was it a poem? Do you call it a poem or is it a screenplay?
Like a little like poem stuff I wrote. Yeah.
And then again, it's about like essentially it's about. Rape and losing innocence, and not, like I said, a tough 2 minutes. It wasn't lighthearted at all.
Yeah, it's really dark.
Yeah, so I went from like Pol Pot's genocide to like Sacred One's suicide and rape talk. Did you grow up having a lot of these thoughts in your head? Like, did you consider yourself a dark person? Did you know that you felt this way?
When I was younger, I guess I was, because even the movies I was watching was really dark. Like I didn't really get into like filmmaking until like in high school. Like, even, you know what? I would say I was, and as a kid, I was kind of a dark person. Like, I was a good writer. Mm-hmm. I always wrote like short stories. And I remember I had I was like 10 writing this dark story about this girl who was stuck in her basement getting abused by her adoptive family.
Okay.
And I wrote that at like 10 years old.
Okay.
And all the stuff I would read were like, you know, dark poetry. Mm-hmm. I feel like you're a little concerned. You're like, oh my God.
I'm thinking of ending this interview right now. That's a little.
Okay, don't make it dark. Oh, but I would say yes when I was really dark.
That's why when I showed you my basement, you're like, oh, there's a lot of room down here. I could have.
But I was always like really into, like, I was really creative and like dark. I had like clout, like, you know. head in the clouds type of thing.
Do you think that, see, because when I was younger, I was like angrier. I was definitely
Yes.
do you think that that's a part of it, like angry young kid? Like,
Yeah, kind of like maybe like an angry young kid. And then even the movies I was so interested in was really dark and edgy. Like, you know, like, you know, Old Boy. Have you watched that movie?
What?
Old Boy?
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite films.
Both the Spike Lee and the original one.
The original one, I was like obsessed with that.
Mm-hmm.
I was obsessed with that film, like in high school.
That's dangerous.
No.
That's a dangerous.
And then, yeah, I was obsessed with Park Chan-wook and his stuff. And I would make my friends like watch it, like, Stephanie, you have fucked this up, but this is such a great film. Like, what is your mind?
Yeah. Do you think that the project that you're about to start working on, is it similar in like, oh my God. The last thing I was asking you before my phone tried to make me commit suicide was, speaking of dark shit, if you felt that your new project is going to be as dark as some of your past projects.
Speaking of suicide, it's about suicide.
Your new one?
Yeah. That's funny.
So that's at least like the second project you've had that's has suicide involved.
They're all pretty dark.
Yeah.
A lot of my things.
I love that you're like, it's funny you bring that up. Suicide.
It's funny. Yeah. Why do you?
Speaking of
great introduction.
I know. I'm sorry. It's like I said, tragic story with a twist. Why are you so dark? What's wrong with you?
What is wrong with me?
Yeah,
what is wrong with the world?
Explain to us what the fuck is wrong with you.
What?
Why are you the way that you are?
Why am I the way? Are you like my psychologist right now?
I'm trying to help you work through things because can we have a romantic comedy from you in the future, perhaps? Can we have something?
I think you know what? Why don't I have like a cute story about being with the little ventriloquist, like a little romantic
with
comedy.
your I mean, let's have instead of Crazy Rich Asians, can we have crazy rich Asian dates? What is it? Biracial ventriloquist? Is that how you that's how you describe the guy you're dating? Biracial.
He is a hot black ventriloquist with the puppets. No, he's a hot black. He literally he had a show. And he had like a little sign poster, and it literally said "hot biracial comedian" with his racist puppet.
So he knows how to market himself, I guess.
Well, not him. Someone else did it, but it's fine. It's funny.
Someone described him that way.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Whatever works. I mean, it worked on you. You were like, he is a hot biracial ventriloquist. I think I'm into him.
I mean, I had to look past the mustache, and then I was like, yeah.
Not past the puppet. The puppet was good for you. The mustache was the problem.
Yes. How'd you know the mustache was the problem, not the puppet?
I saw the mustache. It looked like he's a pedophile in training there. I don't know.
Oh, no.
He's going to hear this, and like suddenly you're going to see him the next time and be like, where'd your mustache go? Just thought it was time.
No, he loves his mustache. He's never taking that shit away.
Oh, well, I guess that's what's going to get him in trouble.
I'm dead. We're working through.
I thought that Queens of Coney Island was a pretty... It felt like your most... It felt like you took a lot of stuff that you were learning and put them into this 5-minute film. Because you I think you packed in a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
Even with the conversation at the end on the bench in Coney Island. Are you drawing from personal shit when you write this down?
Not always.
Yeah.
Mostly like things I'm inspired by people I talk to. Because I'm more of a listener when people like talk to me, and I like to hear people's stories. I like to incorporate their stories into mine.
So you just stole someone's story. So you're a thief. All right.
No. I'm a thief of people's stories. Just things I'm inspired by. Like sometimes if I like, sometimes like personal experiences too, like moments when I'm with a friend or a conversation I'm having, or different childhood memories, like stuff like that, or like a thought or a feeling. And I like to capture that. What's
your favorite part of all of these? Like going through all these films, did you enjoy the writing, the script writing, the casting more? Was it more fun before you were actually filming? Is the actual filming process the fun part? Or do you actually like the post-filming, like the editing? I'm guessing putting it out there on social media, that's your least favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I could be better at my social media putting stuff out.
But what is the part of the process you get the most out of?
The writing part.
So the very beginning part, basically.
Yeah.
Oh.
The inception.
Is it all then downhill from then?
everything else is like, how can I make whatever? It's all about like, how can I make whatever is in my head come to life?
Okay.
Then it's like all like grueling,
stressful
stuff.
So you get the most out of the. It's like you said, creative shit.
Yeah, the writing is creative. The editing post can also be really creative for me too.
Oh yeah,
it's like you're putting something together. Okay. It could be tedious, but that's when the magic happens.
Right.
Yeah.
It is true. I said I don't really like doing like social media stuff, but there are times where I get in a flow of editing where I'm like, oh, this is making me feel good right here, right now. Mm-hmm. Like I like the fact that when this comes out looking pretty decent, I'm like, oh, okay, that's.
Yeah, and it's a skill.
Yeah.
That everyone can do.
Everyone can do?
No, not everybody.
Oh, that I would assume so. Yeah, that's what you got. Was your degree specifically in film editing?
No, in sociology.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that.
I'm a sociology major and Asian American minor studies.
So you didn't go to school for film?
No, I went to film school for a semester and I dropped out.
Huh? Wow.
I dropped out.
You are one of these quitters that we're talking about.
I dropped out because I got an opportunity to assistant edit on a short documentary.
Okay.
So I was always like, maybe I should just like. I didn't like film school. It was like long like classes. I was like, I can't do this.
What was like? What didn't you like about it?
It was just like long classes. I hated it. I was in the middle of bumblefuck New York State. It's like an upstate New York and bumblefuck.
Oh yeah.
It's
you
like,
went upstate, right?
If they were like upstate.
Did you purchase? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I went to purchase for.
How do you know?
Yeah, how you know? Yes, I went to purchase for a semester and I dropped out, and then I went to Hunter and I got like, and then I used like the city as a way to like learn how to make films.
Right.
And trying to get into like the film industry.
So then you're doing really well for someone that has a degree in fucking sociology, I guess.
You think so? Well, I loved like studying sociology during college because I got to write papers. And people always said like get like a well-rounded education rather than just like filmmaking because you're just gonna learn filmmaking stuff, but you have to like think about things to like make.
Well, I mean, it does kind of make sense that you have so many films that revolve around societal or sociological issues. I mean, you're very right off the gate. Rouge Blood, it's essentially kind of paved the way into sociology. I feel like. Yeah. But you have. I mean, I don't know. What does someone that studies sociology even go on to do?
I don't even fucking know either.
Right.
You can be a social worker.
The reason I bring that up is because I all my pothead friends that I went to school with, they definitely chose to major in sociology because like
easy.
Yes.
It was easy though, but it was very interesting.
Like
Lots of writing papers.
I definitely had friends that like I can't get into the business program, so I guess I'll just do sociology.
Oh shit!
And now they're like.
And I always did film, even in college too. Like I did a lot of film internships. I just like made shit, trying to make shit happen.
The girls that you got, or the women that you got to be in Queens of Comedy, friends or also casting calls?
Them
Damn, you just cast everything, huh?
I do. I do it's literally like grassroots.
Yeah, I see that.
Very grassroots.
Have you ever had negative experiences working with like some of the people you've either casted or got to be on your crew?
Oh, definitely.
Really? Like,
no, definitely.
Without calling anyone out, what are some difficulties that you do face?
I had one girl. She was really sheltered, and like this, like we were on set, and this like older black dude came up to us just to ask like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she like freaked out, and she like cried and like ran away from set.
What?
I was like, "Where the fuck are you going? We have a film to finish. Like what?" So she was kind of like a drama.
Wow.
A drama queen.
Was she still able to finish the job? Or?
Yeah, but it took like another day, so that was really hard to do. Dealing with her.
Right.
Actresses are some of them.
That's what I hear. It looks like you're already getting a taste of how difficult some people can be to work with, I guess.
Yeah, you just have to be calm and collected, you know?
Are you patient?
I am. I can be a patient person, but it depends on what it is, you know.
Film?
In film, I'm patient.
But what are you not patient with, like people on like a personal level or something?
Like random people, not really.
Well, random people, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But like people that I'm close to, I have a lot of patience with them.
That makes sense. But you won't give like strangers much of a benefit of a doubt.
No, not really, because I don't really care.
I wanted to talk more about these. I read two of your. I don't know if you have a lot, but I read two of your short stories.
Yes.
Did you? They were published this year. Were they? So they relatively new, or you had this like for a while that you just never put out?
Writing has so when I became single, I had nothing to do, and I just like went into like I had to like find like a creative outlet to express myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I just decided to like start writing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is great. This is fun. Like, I'm actually a good writer. It was good to like hone back to like my writing skills. You know what I mean?
So, Death Skull Moth, which just reading the title, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I didn't know it was a real thing.
Even my titles are great.
I thought it was like, wow, she's really trying to be like dark as hell with this title. And then I'm reading the short story, which takes about 5-10 minutes to read, and I remember getting somewhere towards like the middle end and kind of forgetting the name of the short story, and then you hit us with what a death skull moth actually is, and it actually made everything so like pretty powerful in my opinion. And let's for people that don't know, which pretty much everyone listening to this, Death Skull Moth is a short story about you going to your grandfather's funeral back in Malaysia, not Cambodia. When was this? When did that? You were around like 18? If the math lines up, I think you were about 18.
Yes. 17, 18.
17, 18, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I went back to, with my first death I've ever like.
Right, you wrote about that in there too.
And then that actually happened.
Which is nuts. So
seeing that moth was a real fucking thing.
So is it, I guess, Buddhist culture? I'm not sure. Because for my culture, and I think for most American death culture, you go to like a funeral home where they have like a wake or a viewing. Right. This sounds like the viewing or the wake was in your grandfather's like residence.
Yes.
That's already different for me. Like that's
yeah.
You even talked about sleeping in the same like home as a dead person. That freaked you out? A
little bit, because he's like right outside. Like his casket is like right out there.
Yeah, that's gotta be weird.
And then we were like, everyone's like in a room sleeping.
Right. It's different. So what Death Skull Moth is an actual type of moth.
Yes.
With the
skull on it.
That's so like the wings, when it's open up, it looks like it has a white skull on it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It doesn't sound real. It sounds like I'm making this shit up in my head.
Oh yeah. So what's the significance of the Death Skull Moth in Buddhist culture?
Well, if you look at Google, it means like literal death. That's what it means.
Like an appearance of a moth?
Yeah, it just means like death. Mm-hmm. Like a rebirth, like just like dead, like something's dying. Did
you say that Buddhists believe that a dead person visits them as a death?
Oh, right, yes. So they believe like when a person dies, they come back as a moth.
Specifically like a death skull
moth?
Like
something that like flies back in. It
Mm-hmm.
could be like a bird or a moth. Mm-hmm. But in terms of like the two deaths I've experienced, it's been moths.
And you talked about, or you wrote about how this moth flies in. You're the first one to notice it, right?
Yes.
The moth flies in essentially to see this dead grandfather of yours.
Yes.
The body of your deceased grandfather is in the living room for 3 days.
Yes.
And that's exactly how long the moth stayed in the living room with the body. That's when your story freaked me out.
Isn't it freaky?
That's when I went from like reading, I thought a well-written insight into like Malaysian and Buddhist culture. Yeah. But that's when I was like, now she's fucking freaking me out. Like now this is the part of the movie where I get uncomfortable, like
now I have an outside perspective. It's like, wow, maybe like the things that I've been through, like, whoa.
Yeah, you said, like I said, dude, I went down a dark path researching you. I thought I was going to research this comedian, and then it's like, then my grandfather was dead for 3 days, and his soul came back as a moth. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. There's moments after I just saw a 2-minute video on suicide and shit, and
dark stuff.
The barefoot climbing of the mountain.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Annoying.
Fuck
tough.
that. Yeah.
Is barefoot is that like a religious thing? Is that an homage to the area, the site? What is that about?
It's supposed to be like this Buddhist thing where you have to like kind of like suffer with the casket going up the hill.
Got it.
So I did it.
Right.
Some of my family members did not do it. So that's
yeah, when
on
you
them.
wrote that.
Yeah, that was kind of that was a comedic relief.
You threw
right?
shade on some of your family members. It's like, yo, this bitch was not happy about this part. Was it not? Because I thought it was just like the older members of the family that didn't do it. Are you saying they were like some healthy people that just decided to not do it?
Yeah, they drove up.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Fuck that.
It's the shade. No, somebody messaged me like, it's the shade for me. Like, you funny. Even when you're trying to be serious.
Even in such a morose subject, you were like, but these other fuckers. They grieved worse than me. They were lazy grievers. I grieved the right way.
And my cousins probably read it or something. Oops, I don't know.
Do they talk to you anymore?
I just live with my mother, so whatever I do is like I'm kind of like the black sheep, the odd one out, I guess.
I'm suddenly not surprised by that at all. I thought it was like a religious thing because I've been to sites where people refuse to walk with shoes out of reverence or respect.
Yeah, with respect. It's kind of supposed to be like respecting.
How long was that climb up the mountain?
I don't know. It felt like fucking forever because it's hot as fuck in Malaysia too. Not only is it hot, but I have no shoes going up this fucking hill. So you're going up the hill and you're literally, as you go up, it gets fucking hotter.
Yeah.
Literally.
They couldn't have buried him in a nice cool beach or something.
No, and it's just so funny that his like grave was at a hill. Like it has to be at a hill. It was so funny. So funny.
Then I read Lines of My Eyes.
Yes, that one got traction on Medium.
I'm not surprised. This is probably your most, and when I say your most unique piece of work, I don't mean that
out of the ordinary.
Correct. Like everything else, like you have themes of spirituality, suicide, death, racial, like your racial upbringing or past. This is, well, there's racial shit in here too, but this is a little bit of a different look into it. Also, because of you, I now know what the hell a double eyelid is. I had no idea until today.
Are you serious?
I had no idea.
I feel like that's a very Asian thing, though.
I guess, and part of me felt a little ignorant because
that's okay.
Because I didn't first. All right, so Lines of My Eyes has to do about essentially you, and not just you, but the desire of a lot of Asian, not just women apparently, but men too.
Yeah, men too.
To have what's called a double eyelid.
Yes.
And going as far as taping their eyes and going through surgery to achieve this.
Yes,
look.
It's a thing.
I had no idea about any of this. I'm a double eyelid piece of shit walking like. Of course, this like cis male double eyelid having motherfucker has no idea of the struggles of you women and Asians in general. But so I have these double eyelids. Apparently, it's literally like I have a wrinkle in my eye.
And I don't have it.
And you don't. And you know what's funny? The moment that you got to the part of your story where you described double eyelids or whatever, your image just like flashed in my head. I'm like, that's right. That bitch don't have double eyelids.
I'm the double eyelid one. We have double eyelid supremacy here.
I'm cool with people of all types of eyelids. Okay, yeah. 1, 2. 3. If for some reason you have 3, I fucks with that too. But still, and I never even noticed that was. But suddenly that now I read about this, I'm like, yo, that is a thing. So you had. As a young child, you had a desire to have like different types of eyelids?
Yeah, I feel like that's a regular like Asian girl, like kind of like rite of passage at one point.
Double eyelids?
Yeah.
Or double eyelid like surgery? If you already
have double eyelid, you were considered already pretty. Like, you okay. Mm-hmm. If you don't have it, it's like, oh, your eyes are so small. Why you look like that?
That's nuts. It's crazy that some like Asian, well, I have, believe it or not, I have Asian friends. And
do you?
Yes, I do. Hi, James. I've learned that Asian people are very racist towards each other, like the different types of Asians.
It's like Chris Rock, his bit about black people with
Yeah.
the N-word.
Yeah, of course.
That is, every race can like...
Has that version of that. I agree. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, 100%. Because like, I remember like someone would tell me like, oh, the Japanese and like the Koreans like have a lot of beef. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like a lot of Mexicans get shit on all the time. Dominicans get shit on all the time. No, I see that. And like, then there's like the higher end Hispanics, like the Argentinians or something like that.
Of course.
So it was like, was it like family shit or like just that made you? Yeah, a lot of it
was like family shit. And then you have like people outside too, you know?
Plastic surgery, I also didn't know this. Plastic surgery is very prevalent in, you said South Korea?
Yeah, that's like the plastic surgery like capital.
Of like the world, really?
Kind of. It's one of the hubs, especially in Asia. Like it's what they're known for.
Yeah, it's great. Like I know that like Colombia's kind of known for that.
BBL.
Yeah. Which is nuts because your friend talks in the story. You talk about how your friend's talking about getting double eyelid surgery, and then another twist ending. She walks out with a Brazilian butt lift instead.
Yes, isn't that funny?
The fuck is that about?
You think I'm fucking kidding? She actually gets a BBL.
That's fun. I think you know what? In my head, I was like, well, she's an American, so I think she realizes that a bigger ass is probably more important in America than a double eyelid.
Well, so the whole take is like plastic surgery. Like I wanted to kind of like connect like BBL.
Yeah.
And, like I double eye like weird shit. Just, like, all in one article.
Yeah.
And she ends up having a BBL like when she was like 19. She got in Harlem too.
Hold up. She got a
BBL.
She got it done in Harlem?
Yeah.
So I thought she went to South Korea to get it.
No, you can't.
I guess they don't even know what the fuck that is, right?
There is no BBLs in South Korea. I promise you. Nobody is going to the clinic like, I want a fat ass.
I know where to get it.
I want a
South
fat
Korea.
Ass. No, nobody's going to Korea to get a fat ass. Everybody's going to Colombia. They go to Dominican Republic. They go to Puerto Rico. They go to Harlem.
Harlem. I did not even know.
Maybe Atlanta for a big old ass. Damn, but I promise you, nobody's flying to South Korea.
I don't know. The moment I said that out loud, I was like, "You fucking idiot." Why would I think South Korea is selling fat asses? Like that's so stupid. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
They look down on fat asses. Like, you know what I mean?
Can I ask what it was like for you to tape your eyelid? What did they sell special eyelid tape?
Yeah, to tape it. You felt stupid.
It's not like just regular Scotch tape you're taping.
It's like you're just like taping. It's taped like it's tapered and it's like taped there.
And you leave it on like at home.
I looked stupid.
Was it changing anything besides making your eyes swollen?
Yeah, this just made me look swollen.
Yeah, because that's what you said.
In the article,
my
mom's like, your eyes look swollen. Take it off. You look ridiculous.
Does your mom have double eyelids?
Yeah, she does.
Did she have them? Was she born with them, or did she get the surgery?
She was born with them. My dad is the one with the mama.
That privileged bastard.
She's double.
So your dad has your dad gave you the screwed up eyes? Is what you're telling me?
Yeah, my mom gave me the screwed up eyes.
Did you ever a little jealous that your mom had them and you didn't?
Yes, I think I read about it too. Like I've had articles where I write about my mom. Like growing up, like she was like beautiful. Like she had like the high cheekbones. I mean, she still is beautiful. Mm-hmm. She had the big eyes. She was a hairstylist. So
okay.
Yeah.
Did you feel like she was a lot to live up to aesthetically?
Well, her and also like the woman in my family, a lot of them are like beautiful. Not just her, like my aunts too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Are you closer to your mom's side than your dad's side?
My mom's side.
Yeah. Because you're the grandfather that died and you had to go up the stupid mountain for. That was your dad's side?
That's my mother's side.
Oh, and so your mom's one of 10.
Yeah, yes. How you know? Whoa!
You're Stephanie Cherng. We have to know this.
Yeah, we have to know all this.
So you have a lot of aunts and uncles.
Lots of them. A big family.
And a lot of cousins then. So you're saying like all the females in your all your aunts, they're
both sides.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel pressure about your looks?
Yeah, growing up, yeah, definitely. It didn't help too that my friends were like all good looking too.
You have a type, huh? You only get ugly friends and you would be doing a lot better. All right. I bet your videos would be a lot cheerier if you just had ugly friends.
Oh, no.
No wonder you're so morose. You just hang out with prettier people.
That's not true. I like personality in people.
I thought you were about to be like, that's not true. I have a lot of ugly friends now.
No, I like personality.
Check my followers.
People with personality are more fun than people.
Personality and ventriloquist puppets. Those are what you look for. Yeah, I've noticed. Your mom.
Yeah.
You were talking about. We were just talking about her, and then I've noticed that your debut in comedy was on Mother's Day 2023. Was that on purpose?
Kind of, sort of, not really. I just kind of did it. I drew myself up.
Did your mom have anything to do with your desire, your inspiration, your...
No, I was very afraid to go up. And she was like, just to go up, be fearless. And then she just like... I even used her, like, her last name when I first started doing comedy. I used her last name just to, like, kind of, like, embody her, like, fearlessness.
Oh, really? Oh.
And then, you know... So
is Cherng your actual last name?
Yeah.
So you're back to like you don't want
regular one now. I don't like
no stage name for you.
No stage name. But in the beginning it was like because I was kind of scared like people were like I'm saying like wow shit like I don't want you guys to like Google me like trying to dox me or something like that. But
interesting.
Whatever. Nobody cares about me when I make these jokes. Whatever.
I mean, not yet. They might soon.
No, I don't think they care.
You never know.
But yeah, I did my first set on Mother's Day. It was an open mic show. Mm-hmm. It was like a comedy club with like audience, and maybe that was kind of brave of me just to throw myself up on my first time doing comedy.
Did you have jokes written out?
Yeah, I wrote it. I had a whole 5-minute set.
So you had like the diligence you have in your filmmaking, you had it in your comedy too then.
Yeah, even before I started, I was like, okay, I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, I have these jokes.
Yeah.
I had literally like a whole set. And I was like, I just have to perform it. And I just throw myself up. I was prepared, so.
Did you, similar to your film, did you give yourself the date of Mother's Day to like that you have to go on by then or?
Kind of. My friend just like threw me up.
Wow.
He's like, just go up, just do it. And I just like threw myself up. I was like.
So there was a chance that you were going to be at that open mic but not go up on stage?
Kind of, sort of. I kind of just like, okay, this is happening. Let me just like throw myself up. And I just did it. And I knew that if I did it, I would like it.
You knew.
And I knew if it was like, I kind of sort of was like, oh my God, if it was going, I was kind of scared of it going good. Because if it was going to, because if it went bad, I'd be like, I'm never doing this ever again. This is like, whatever. But then it went like, okay. So I was like, damn.
Now I have to do this all the time. That was scarier. That was a scarier prospect for you than failing. Wow.
Failing was like, I knew I was going to like, I was kind of scared to fail too. But you're so nervous. It's just like, I just want to get through it for the first time. Yeah. And after a while, you kind of get used to it then.
And you have, like, you hit the ground running. Because we were I believe in one of the moments where I stopped recording by accident, I was talking about how even though you've not even hit a year anniversary yet, like, you're out there a lot, I feel. I think you're out there pretty often. And I
try to be.
Not even just these open mics, though. Like, you're on shows, like you're on showcases. People are asking you to be a part of their shows that they're producing.
Yeah, I'm very blessed. I don't know. I never thought this would happen. Comedy has been like the one thing that's like, comedy is the biggest surprise for me. Okay. I don't know why.
Right, because you had, like, since 15, you have essentially been on this path of film and writing.
And I still am, yeah.
Always wrote, always, I mean, child prodigy in the film institute or whatever. And actually, the way that you told me you even got into comedy, like, it wasn't your idea, right? Like,
it was not my idea at all. It started like last year. I had it was by accident. I had a dinner with a famous comedian, like just by chance, and he's like, "I can tell you the funniest friend. You need to do stand up." Yeah. I still didn't really think about it, and then my friend took me to the cellar to see a show, and then I called one of the hosts. Discount Dave Chappelle, and he was like, "Oh, I can tell you funny," but I still like, okay. I first of all, I didn't even think I was even funny until like very recent, and even funny enough to do comedy, no fucking way.
Wait, you're saying you did not consider yourself a funny person? No, really.
But people would say I was like naturally funny. I was like, what the fuck is that? I don't know. There's
a lot of what's the word? I don't know if pride is the right word. Maybe like egotistical pride that someone feels if a comedian calls them funny. I feel like they're like, oh, a comedian said I was funny, and then suddenly in their head they're like, I can be a comedian, but they never fucking do it. They never try it or whatever.
No, yeah, like I said, because me doing stand up, no fucking way. I was like, no.
That wasn't even like a wild dream of yours?
No, I never, like I said, I never had no wild dream to like be on a stage.
Your wild dreams included film.
Yeah, film. Right. It still is. I have absolutely no dream to like, I don't even watch like comedy. I don't watch comedy like that.
Right.
I'm not like I wasn't a huge like big comedy fan, you know? Mm-hmm. Even now I'm still learning like the comedy stuff.
Yeah.
I was never
the comedy stuff. Yeah. As they say in the industry, yeah. Learning the comedy stuff.
Like I said, and I went to the cellar. My friend took me to the cellar, and then they're like, "Hey," and then the host was like, "Oh, you're funny." Okay, I was like, I just thought like, okay, he just thinks I'm a funny person, whatever. Yeah. And then I went to other.
Oh wait, hold up. There was one. I remember when you were telling me this story the first time, because you told me a story when we first met, and my favorite part of the story is that you told another, not the host, who I know who the host was, and I think it's funny that it was him because he is a very out there guy. So if he thinks you're funny, he'll have no problem telling you to your face that you're funny.
Which meant a lot, and I think
he's a good dude.
It meant a lot.
He's one of the good guys there. But you went up to another comedian that was on this showcase, and you told him, I think you were the second best comedian.
Yeah, I don't want to know. We can't say names.
No, don't worry. No worries, because that one's a little mean.
I went up to one of the comedians, and you know, like I said, me in comedy, like I said, the people I admire, like I admire comedians, but the people like filmmakers, right? Mm-hmm. I like revere them. But comedies, like comedians, like you can only like. You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't have no comedian dreams. And
Right.
Be like, I don't know how to act. I'm just like myself. I'm like, you know?
So you didn't like, there was no like reverence to you.
It wasn't like reverence. It was like, hey, I think you're, okay, so I went up to one of the comedians after the show. I was like, oh my God, you're like the funniest comedian tonight. He's like, oh, thank you. Okay, but I love you though. You're funny. And then he was like,
wait, you called him you said you were the funniest?
I was like, yeah, you were the second funniest.
Second funniest, that's why.
Comedian tonight. He's like, oh, okay, thanks.
And it was when you told me that story that I was like, yeah, because he probably feels like you just insolted the shit out of him. And you're like, no, I called him second best. That's good.
Yeah.
He's like, no, dude, that's so.
I was like, you're the second funniest tonight. He's like, oh, okay. Thanks. Wow, thanks.
I know. And I love that just went over your head. Like,
he walked out. He was like, I was like, oh, you're funny, the funny guy. The funny guy. He's like, and he was like, what do you want? I was like, I'm sober. I'm sober. Like, he's like, that's even great. He was like, that's even better. He was like, I was like, you funny. He's like, no, you funny. Mm-hmm. You funny. And he points at me. He's like, be a comic.
Exactly.
Be funny.
And then, but my interpretation of that is that he was insulting you. He's like, you should be a comic. You're so funny.
Really?
And you walk away like, 2 comedians told me I'm funny today.
It was actually 3.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Actually 4. If kind of think about the 4 of them. 4 of them.
Remember how you started off humble in the beginning of this podcast? What happened?
I'm still humble, but I'm telling you. And I think that like I'm being humble, but I'm just telling you the story of how it happened.
Yeah.
Because it seems like I'm making it up. Like, everything I'm saying seems like it's all fake.
No, this seems genuine.
No, I'm just telling you 4 of them. And then one of them, I went up to them. I'm just like, I was like, yo, you mad funny tonight.
You were third funniest.
No. And then he was like, are you serious right now? He's like, are you serious? He was like, and you cute? He's like, and you cute? Are you serious? And he was like, I think he was like talking to his manager.
Yeah.
He's like, do you see this right now? Do you see this girl? I don't know.
Do you see the audacity on this chick?
I don't know. I was being like silly. I was being myself. But it's funny because my friend, she's also like really beautiful. Right? I have a beautiful friend.
I know you only hang out with beautiful people. I've learned.
Right. And then like one of them, one of the people at the cellar, right? Mm-hmm. They're like pointed like, this is how you know. Like, I was like the funny friend. I talk about him a bit sometimes too. But like, he like pointed at my friend. He was like, and you're beautiful. And he pointed at me. He goes like, and you're funny. And you know you're funny. And you know you're funny. Yeah. I was like, I don't know I'm funny. I still don't know I'm funny.
Did part of you,
I still don't think I'm funny.
Did part of you ever feel like, why am I not the beautiful one?
I think
why am I the funny one?
I was like, funny? I was like,
I knew I should have gotten that second eyelid.
Yeah, I know. I should get that surgery. But then I was like, should I try comedy? I guess. I don't know. And now I'm in the streets. And now I'm at this podcast with you. So I don't know.
So your life is complete? Do you have plans to celebrate your 1 year anniversary in comedy? Like, are you doing a show that day? Or?
I have a show next month. It's like an all Asian comedy show.
You do like there's a couple of shows I've seen you in that are like specifically Asian showcases, right?
I do so much comedy. I don't even know which shows I'm on sometimes. Have I? No, this is gonna be like the first like all Asian. Yeah.
Ooh, so you haven't done like an all Asian room yet or anything like that?
I've done like open mics with a lot of like Asian people. It's been fun. I try to find open mics where there's like an actual audience and I can.
Well, yeah, that'd be nice.
And I got over on my stage fright quick because I would like find like the early days of comedy was like rough because I would like how to like get over my stage fright.
Sure, yeah.
So I would find like rooms where like big rooms.
What's your favorite? Some of your favorite spots to do open mics?
KGB bar is a great one.
Okay.
I used to go Inspired Word.
Inspired
Word.
Inspired Word. Okay.
That's a good one. Comedy Mob is a good one too. You have like actual live audience to try things out.
Okay. I'm gonna have to keep these in mind.
No, you don't. I don't know. No one teaches these things. I don't even know what I'm doing either.
I just go on badslava.com to see all the open mics that are around. Yeah. But I don't. I've gone to so little that I don't know what are the good. I only hear like how these open mics can be bad. You know, like
they can be
no
bad.
Crowd or a shitty host or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't even care about you.
But it's like even how I got into comedy, it sounds like kind of glamorous.
Like a little bit, yeah. I had a famous comedian tell me that I meant to do this. Yeah, that's not how
it kind of sound like a kind of at first it sounded like a calling kind of almost, right? Like, oh my god, do it. You. But then when you like, it sounds glamorous, but when you do it, it's like, you know, I'm in the trenches.
Suddenly
you know?
The glamour is,
at first it's like sparkly, but then
all
like,
that glitters is not gold. So.
Yeah, you're really in the trenches. Like I'm actually in the trenches. Sometimes I'm at open mic, I'm like, what am I doing here?
Sure. How often do you go up in a week?
I used to go up like one time I did like 10 mics a week. It was crazy.
That's what I mean. Like that's that 10. Like you went mad hard at it like right from the get. That's that's
a good thing. I think I went a little too much maybe.
Well, you know. You start finding a balance, you know, and you find a comfortable place with it, but I think that's how you knew that it was something worth pursuing because you immediately wanted to go mad hard at it, you know.
Yeah, it was something that I don't know. I just went so hard with it. Yeah. I just like never looked back. I don't know. It kind of gets addictive too.
I've heard. Yeah, I have a buddy of mine that is a pretty good, pretty successful comedian. He worked with me at the Cellar. What's up, Zach? But he's already on tour with some people like Eric Newman and does a lot of shows himself. And he asked me before I went up for my first time ever. He said, "Do you have an addictive personality?"
Ooh.
And I said, "I absolutely do. Like I'm the type of dude that I knew I was going to be a pothead before I ever smoked weed. I like straight up. I became a bartender, started like probably drinking more than I should, you know.
Oh yeah.
I can get addicted with a lot of stuff, and so he told me like, bro, get ready. And he was like, it's gonna happen with stand up, you know.
In the beginning for me, but also like I knew, like I said, they told me to do it. I was like, maybe this is like a calling or some shit, and I was like, maybe, I should really like try my hand at it. And I was going on stage. I was going up a lot, like 10 mics. Maybe it wasn't the healthiest.
I was about to say, do you feel like it's too much? And like I mean, look, every successful comedian will tell you, yep, that's what you got to do.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I thought. Like to get good, you have to just like go up and test stuff.
The best comedians I know, like they talk about how when they were at this stage, the stage that you're at, and I guess that I'm at, they could not stay away from an open mic.
Yeah, that was it. Like my social life, because of comedy, was like gone.
Right.
Absolutely like destroyed. Like literally, I would go up. I would miss like birthday parties.
Wow.
I would miss like Christmas like get-togethers. I would miss just to do like stand up.
And that's what it. Unfortunately, that's what it takes. Yeah.
The sacrifice. Yeah, and like I don't know. Like it can get kind of lonely sometimes because you're like all by yourself.
Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I knew I had to do it. Like there's a part of me where I knew I was like, I just have to do it. I don't know. I just like I miss like this. My social life was like gone. Just like doing comedy for a
It's
little
gotta
bit.
feel a little crazy to you how like this a year ago this was not in your life.
Yes,
And now
that's what
suddenly
I'm
it's
saying.
monopolizing like a big part of your life.
It does, but also because for me, so my friend was like, before I even tried my first set. She's like, when you do this, you gotta be consistent multiple times. And she's like, don't be going one time thinking that you can like not do it anymore. So I always listen to her every time I'm like trying to go up. I get scared and nervous when I don't want to do it. She's like, I listen to like my best friend. She's like, go up,
Yeah.
and don't do consistently. Don't be stopping now. You know what I mean?
So as we start to wrap this up, what's like now that you have a new passion and a new obsession introduced into your life, how do you see the next stage of your, I guess, your career, your progress going? You're obviously still pursuing what I guess we can call your first love, film and writing and creating and all in that aspect. Do you see yourself wanting to keep both of them a part of your life for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, hopefully. I think with comedy, what I like, what I'm slowly learning about, why I love it, is the writing part.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I never like wasn't my dream to be like up on a stage or like, in front of a camera.
Do you think that you'll ever write a comedy?
Hopefully, please. Yes, I would love to like write a comedy.
Right.
I think for me, it's at the core of everything I do, it's the writing part. It's a form of like expressiveness. Like why I write, why I make films and comedy. It's just like form of like expression. You know what I mean?
Have you ever thought about like writing sketch comedy?
I've never thought about it, but maybe I should.
Because okay, instead of like short, well, you could. There's always the short comedic film you can do. But I had a guest on. I think he was actually at that event that we were at. But I don't know if you guys had any interaction. Liam Strumminger. He was also a film student from Temple, I believe.
Okay.
And his YouTube, it's the opposite of yours. It's the silliest, most lighthearted, truthfully kind of dumb ass like shit.
But his personality is like.
No, that's kind of him in real life too. Liam, you were great. You were awesome. I loved having him. But that's pretty much him. Like it was just very silly, very honestly what I thought this was gonna be like until I saw your dark past online. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, do you know like Jordan Peele?
Yeah.
He like a
he started off with comedy,
but his work is like horror and dark and trauma.
That way, do you like see him as some sort of inspiration?
I wouldn't say like he's an inspiration, but I love his stuff. I love Get Out. I love like film. I love his horror film.
Now, if he took up ventriloquism, you might have a new like love interest, a new obsession.
Me?
Yeah. He need a mustache too. He would need
exactly.
He would need a terrible mustache and a. What is the puppet or dummy that your lover is using on stage?
His name is Louis.
Louis the lover.
The threesome lover.
What?
The one to get it.
Is that how you guys met? You guys said, I don't. This third guy could go.
You know, sometimes he watches.
You guys you have threesomes with the puppet, huh?
Yes.
The dummy.
No, I'm just kidding. We don't.
You put him did you put him in another room?
Yeah, sometimes he listens.
Yeah.
From his little suitcase.
He can never watch. He just listens. What kind of dummy is it? Was it like
it's a racist dummy.
No, but like, is it like a person? Is it because I know Jeff Dunham has like a skeleton dummy and an old man dummy. It's a white
person. It's a white person.
Old white guy.
That's racist.
That's already
and sexist and like terrible.
Well, Louis, I'm gonna have to look into Loverboy Louis' stuff and see how it is. It might be very therapeutic for him to get through all that racist shit with a dummy on his lap. I don't know.
And he's also like he's a black ventriloquist.
I've heard you've mentioned this many times. Yeah.
No, because it's interesting. Like think about like a black ventriloquist having a racist puppet. I was mind blown. I was like, what is this? What is happening?
It makes sense. It's a good
It's a good act. I don't know.
I want him to buy a tiny Asian dummy now. And
I'm dead.
Or maybe just put you on his lap. You're kind of the same size.
I've been on his lap.
All right, guys. I think that's a great place to leave it. Steph, before we say goodbye, can you do us a favor? Can you tell everyone out there where they could find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, STEPHY Cherng. Steffi Cherng on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow me. Let's be friends. I'm friendly. I know like everything sounds like.
She's not as sad as her films are. I promise.
I know.
She's actually pretty cool.
Everything is like intense and like I feel like the subject matter in this episode is like darker than like your other stuff. Maybe.
Probably. Yeah.
This is the darkest thing.
Well, I've had some dark episodes when I'm like by myself because like I mean I've literally like talked to myself through like depressing ass times in my life and done it on here. But as far as a guest being involved, nah, you were pretty much the worst. Yeah, you were the darkest.
Really, which is funny because then it's funny because you made me do comedy, which is hilarious.
I know. I thought we were gonna fucking talk about how do you write your jokes?
I could still talk about how I write my jokes.
Yeah, it's just gonna bring me to a place of heartbreak or something. Maybe the next episode, the next time you and I get together, we'll talk more comedy and less suicidal thoughts that control your life.
I did not know that this would be like a whole like thing about my film career.
I don't, neither did I. But once I started doing research, so once I started doing my Nardwar thing on you,
the film was more interesting than the comedy.
A little bit, yeah, because I just didn't get it from you. But also part of me was just like, let me just freak Steph out with the amount of information that I have on her.
Incredible. Because I feel like the film stuff is more prolific than the comedy. Comedy is a what?
You've also only done it for what's prolific about your comedy career is the amount you've gotten done in less than a calendar year.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's really good to hear because like sometimes I'm like hard on myself. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Am I doing this right? Like,
well, probably not. You're doing something right. The whole idea is to do a lot of shit wrong though, so that you learn from your mistakes and get better at it.
And people keep telling me, just so you know, you just started. Like, relax.
Yeah, and every comedian will tell you that the most important thing is to go out there and bomb.
Yeah, I'm definitely bombed. Oof.
Yeah, so that means you're doing something right.
Hopefully, we'll see.
I appreciate you for being on this show.
I appreciate you too. Thank you for stalking me and being my Nardwar.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you for being patient with as my phone tried to screw this up from happening 3 different times.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to commit suicide because it was not working.
I know. They would have been talk about dark films. This would have been your darkest film yet. You go on a podcast and it ends in suicide. That sounds like your next short story, to be honest with you. Yeah.
It is about suicide.
You're like a moth walked in and landed on his podcast mic.
I do have a short story about my great grandmother. I meet her.
Oh, I guess. Damn, I feel like I failed you. I didn't see that online.
See that one. Because I know you didn't see it because like you would have talked about it.
I think so. Yeah. I obviously failed as a host. Show's ruined. Fucking show's ruined. Thanks, Steph.
He knew the age. He knew the age, but he didn't know that article.
I had no idea. All right. I'll have to come. I'll have to have you back on and do this correctly then. Sorry.
All right then. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Steph. High five.
That was fun.
I'm glad.
My second podcast.
Yeah. All right. I'm the second best podcast you ever had.
The first one, no, you were good. No, you were like stalking. This was like more about like prolific career stuff.
Yeah.
He was like, you were funny at my show or something.
Did he even know you did all that other stuff?
Not really. He didn't really research deep. But he just knew like I was on a show and he asked.
Let's talk. Let's shoot the shit for an hour.
Then we'd also like talk about me in Thailand.
Okay.
I party with strippers in Thailand.
Wait, hold up. Okay, so you partied with strippers in Thailand. And we're back. Go on.
Are you still playing?
Oh yeah, we're still. Yeah.
I talked about my time in Thailand when I was with strippers and red light district.
I want details.
Have you been there?
To Thailand?
Yeah.
No, as far as I've been is like across the border in Mexico. So tell me about your times with strippers in Thailand. It was fun.
So think about Thailand. It's like, what are they known for? Sex tourism.
Yeah, I guess so. And I was gonna say Thai food, but is that stupid?
Thai food. And then there's like, it's like Orientalism on steroids.
There's a huge sex tourism like niche in Thailand, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
people like white guys go over there just to get their Asian rocks off.
Exactly. That's what it is. But it's like,
so why were you getting your rocks off over there in Thailand?
I was on vacation with my friends.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Perusing the lady boys in Thailand.
They're beautiful.
I've seen, yeah.
I'm just like, you see like all these girls up on like tabletops and stuff. And I'm just like sitting there like, it'd be a bunch of like me and my Asian friends. And like a bunch of like white dudes like surrounding, like sitting next to us. So it's like a table with like all these strippers. Bam, bam, bam. And like we're just like sitting like around like watching them. Sometimes they hit you with styrofoams.
Styrofoams?
Yeah.
Like styrofoam sticks?
Yeah, they would hit you like the strippers.
Who?
They'd be like, the
Why?
strippers. Because it's fun. They'd be like, if you buy them a shot, they hit you with the styrofoam.
What? I would assume that they're hitting you because you didn't buy them a shot. Like, why do you get assaulted the moment you give them something to drink?
If you give them, they do something to you. They're like, it's like a.
Are you a drinker? Do you like to get down? Or?
I'm a social drinker.
So if there's a good stripper nearby, you'll do a drink.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's how I got to hang out with them. You know, buy them a shot and they'll hang out with you. But they're on the tabletops and they hit you with styrofoam sometimes when you tip them.
Did any of them go, girl, you could strip, You
actually,
could do this.
This is hilarious because I actually told this story on another podcast. Sorry. But
thanks for recycling material.
And then, okay, so it's funny because I'm literally sitting with all these white dudes watching these strippers on the tabletops.
You're already part of the show, it seems
and then I asked one of the white British colonizer white dude. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, so who is your favorite, stripper on the top? Because I had a favorite one, too. Okay. Right? He was like, he looked at me, he was like, hey, you. I was like,
Was this the same comedian that said you were the funny one? Is this just...
No, it was a random...
Why aren't you stripping? Why did you not start stripping on Mother's Day, too? Then you should have done your first set and your first strip. Wait, you are taking strip classes, though, don't you? Or strip aerobics?
I'm dead. I do pole dancing. That's my exercise. I'm dead. I feel like my Instagram's like a clusterfuck of my life. I need to separate it, but I don't want to. So I'm lazy.
You did get affected by these lady boys.
I've always done it before, though.
Oh, you were before you partied with strippers. You were an aspiring stripper.
I wasn't.
Yep.
I do pole dancing as exercise.
As an art.
I guess you say it's an art.
You write and you pole dance and you tell jokes. Aren't you glad we kept recording for 5 more minutes?
But isn't that funny when that guy was like, you?
Yeah, you. This is your calling. This is what you gotta do. All right, so next time we'll talk about your comedy and your stripping career and see how
you've done it. Career. All the money I'm making as a stripper.
Money to fund your next project.
Now I'm perfect.